Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode analysis, this time for episode 2 of Disventure Camp Alt Stars. Before we deep dive into this great episode, a few things to be noted. The following video contains spoilers for all Disventure Camp seasons. You have been warned. Additionally, the footage in the background is not owned by me, but owned by Odd Nation Cartoons. It is episode 1 and episode 2 of Disventure Camp All Stars. For this video, I will be doing sections for easier organization. These sections are the following: episode analysis, overall episode thoughts, next episode predictions before trailer conclusion. Without further delay, allow this video to begin with the first section, the episode analysis.
The bell of the bull, the chicken of the tender. At last, you are in my eyes.
The episode begins with the usual recap and the great intro, then we flip to Fiore and Ashley landing. Ashley and Fiore are annoyed with one another. Ashley has a confessional, then we flip to Miriam, Jake, and Tom, with Tom saying it was time for them all to separate. Jake tries to further his talk with Tom, and Tom purposefully avoids it. Though I am not the biggest Jake fan in the soul test, I feel like this is not a good way to handle it on Tom's part. If he doesn't want to further things, that's completely fine. I honestly prefer that. I find it toxic. But when he was so mad at Jake for not communicating last time, him doing the same feels hypocritical and makes him a bit less likable in my eyes. Anyway, Miriam then tells Jake get over him, and Jake says he cannot, or rather, easier said than done. To James, Aiden, and Lake. We see Lake telling James where to head with a farewell between James and Aiden, with Aiden being sad as he walks off, Lake comforting him. We then see more Gabby and Ellie interactions, with Gabby trying to keep Ellie's spirits high. Adore these two so much. Like, we then see Tom get welcomed, with Gabby breaking up the fight between Ellie and Tom, whilst Aiden, Lake, and Tess arrive. I'm slightly shocked we didn't see any Tess and Lake interactions, but still, Gabby is just her sweet self. Then we see Ellie calling Tom a sheriff himbo and also talking about her team worries. We then go to Pink, with Fiore trying to save herself by forming an alliance, but failing. Jake then comes, calling her a demon child, accurate, and we see the Ashley and Jake friendship begin. It's cool. I like it. Ally and Hunter then show up, with James then coming and hyping the entire team up. Fiore accepts her fate. Then we see the real Rhea, with Connor talking with her. She doesn't realize the camera is there, I think, because she's acting like her sweet self. Very interesting to think about. Miriam then comes, with Connor and her getting along. The rest of the yellow team then shows up, Alec and You'll Regret. Miriam then insults Gret, with Yul saying Miriam may be the old lady he was accused of pushing down the escalator. Quick detour, but I do a fan-made rewrite of DCS2. I put into the canon that Miriam was pushed down the escalator by Yul. Is it canon here? If so, it'd be way too funny. I'm a lol. Also, Yul is defending Gret. I honestly thought he wouldn't. Right now, You'll Regret isn't showing toxic signs, but I am going to keep my cautions up. It's Yul after all. Gret has a confessional about how she wishes she didn't come here. Then going to Pink, with our second Hunter and ally fight of the season. They're probably gonna break up by the time the season ends. James and Eli go to get leaves for the shelter. Hunter just goes. Then Fiore tries to offer an alliance to Ashley and Jake again, with Ashley manipulating the evil child. She's too powerful. Jokes aside, this furthers the friendship between Jake and Ashley. Then, it's flipped to yellow team, with a sweet You'll Regret moment. Miriam going off to get a sleeping bag as Alec mentions. Rhea boasts about her jacket, which slays, according to her, and Connor, which she also plays more into her villainous persona. Connor gets annoyed, to where she swiftly heads to bed. Then Alec tries to talk a bit to Connor. If we're going for them to have a friendship of sorts, I'm very intrigued and interested for it. Then we have Connor's confessional, which literally describes Rhea to a T this season. That I will just play it here.
What this game is doing to Rhea. When we're alone, she can be really sweet. but as soon as the cameras are on, she turned into someone else entirely.
Going to blue, it's storming, with Aiden remembering the first time he and James began to rebond and missing James. Tess mentions how thunderstorms make her feel lonely. Gabby tries to make the team bond with asking if people remember their first storm at the camp, with it being mentioned of Lake's gratefulness towards Crystal. Honestly, I hope we get to see more Crystal and Lake interactions. We didn't get much if any after episode 7, and the dynamic is interesting to me so. Gabby then brings up their first rain, where Tom just starts drama with Ellie, because he can't get over the game. Huh? Didn't he just say the previous episode he could get over all the things she did in the game, and now he's over here mad at her for it? Which that's fair, but it's a bit hypocritical, given he said it was the interviews he was really mad at. Gabby breaks up the fight, with her having a confessional about it. We flip to the challenge, with Aiden saying the team got soaked the previous night. James helps him out, but the pink team gets mad at this factor, with some bickering between. Turns out, this challenge was to be used to repopulate the habitat so they could continue filming that season. I'm guessing several more challenges will relate to something along this line. The challenge itself is getting the animals to the cages, each having a different point system. Team with the most points win. Attackers are also set up. The challenge begins with the pink team planning what animals to take, and Gabby is just enjoying the challenge so much it's so sweet I can't. We also see a Trevor and Derek scene. I'm honestly curious to see where their story will go this season. Also, we basically didn't see Nina, Marcus, or Oliver this episode. Interesting definitely. You'll Regret tries to move a goat, fails, goes to get another animal. Connor gets the monkey. The pink team fails to get the wolf, then Ellie gets attacked. Tess and Gabby destroy Fiore and Ally. Hunter steals the bird. Ally and Hunter have one alright interaction. Connor gets the monkey in the cage. Rhea attacks Aiden because who else would she attack? You'll Regret gets their animal in the cages. Hunter thinks it's a bright idea to ask the 8-year-old to get the goat, with Hunter yelling at Fiore, and Alec proves he still has a soft spot for the evil child, stopping Hunter from yelling at her for too long, with Eli coming to take Hunter away to focus on the game. Alec and Fiore start their first conversation, with Fiore for once not lying, but Alec won't believe her whatsoever. I do find it interesting that Alec, accident or not, basically saved Fiore with his conversation with Jake. By the end of the season, I'm sure these two will be on somewhat decent terms, maybe not to the extent they used to be, but close. Anyway, we see Cyan and Yellow ganging up on Pink, with Yellow getting the wolf. We see a montage of people getting animals, with people attacking one another, Ellie somehow carrying a alligator, Gabby somehow taming a lion, then Jake watching Tom and Aiden work together for 0.2 seconds, and Alec telling him that it must feel bad to get replaced. I'm wondering if this was on purpose, or just an observation by Alec. Both would be somewhat in character. We then see that Miriam's going to start spying on Alec, then Aiden steals the bird because it's the challenge. Cyan and Yellow are revealed to have won, and Pink loses. Since I am not going to do a separate section just for Jake, I'll just state my opinion on this situation here. First off, I get Jake has trauma and has been through things like this. However, that does not give him the right to assume, just because Aiden and Tom high-fived each other and worked together in the challenge which they're on the same team, did Jake expect them to be enemies or something? Plus, Tom and Aiden have just met like 12 hours ago, and Aiden and James have been happy for a year or so. I'm guessing Jake has seen some of James' posts, seen season 2, whichever. Did he think Aiden would sacrifice this happiness, everything they've been through themselves for somebody he just met, again, 12 hours ago? And what reaction did he expect from James? He legit just suggested to James that he was being cheated on. I'm doubting many people would react happily to that, and even more so James. James's life was changed by Aiden. He became a good person because of Aiden. He said it himself. There was no way James would react kindly to the suggestion that the person he cares the most about was being a traitor towards him. Continuing, what was going to even happen if James agreed with him? Was he going to confront Aiden or something? Wouldn't that burn his thing with Aiden more? And even if Aiden did it, obviously he would never, but why would Aiden admit to it? This conversation, regardless of how James reacted, was never going to end well for either parties. And Jake wanting to vote out James is stupid for his game too. I know he really doesn't care about the game, but it is $3 million. At a point you have to start caring. Fiore is a proven threat. Getting her out is much smarter. The last part that just makes my blood boil about this situation is his ending confessional. He says he's getting revenge on Aiden. The heck did he do to him? He took the bird. That was the challenge. This is a game for $3 million. Of course he's going to do the challenge, and he's working with his team. That's how a team works. I get he's jealous, but all they did was high five and Tom said good job. And again, they've known each other for under a day. I want to like Jake as a character. I really do. But the second he seems cool, someone to like, he pulls something like this off. Again, I understand he's been through a lot, however I don't think it can completely justify some of his actions, especially what he just pulled off here. I'm completely willing to hear different opinions or perspectives on the situation in the comments down below. Flipping to elimination, Hunter wants to get out. The child, Ashley, is contemplating who to get out. James and Jake want the former out. In the end, James is packing because Ashley wants to keep her bond with Jake instead of getting revenge. Interesting strategy, I guess. We will see how it all plays out in the following episodes. Then we have Fiore thanking the world for her safety, which I wonder how she'll react when she learns it was mostly Alec who saved her. The episode ends with Jake's confessional. On to my overall thoughts of the episode.
The bell of the bull, the chicken of the tender. At last, you are in my eyes.
This episode was just great. Obviously, I didn't like Jake, but that is in no terms to the writing team whatsoever. They are doing incredible this season. Honestly, this is such a strong start to a season, and it makes me see what total drama All Stars truly could have been. I do personally prefer the pilot of this season because of how well done all characters were, the incredible introductions, etc. The animation too has clearly improved a lot and just looks great. Even though it's not as good as the pilot, I do think it's still easily in the top Disventure Camp episodes. On to my next episode predictions before the trailer.
The bell of the bull, the chicken of the tender. At last, you are in my eyes.
I'm mainly guessing Aiden is going to figure out what Jake did, causing an early rivalry, causing Tom to be annoyed with Jake partially, and also comfort Aiden, causing them to become closer and become friends, causing more jealousy and anger from Jake. I think we will also see more Lake and Tess bonding in the meantime, more Gabby and Ellie interactions too. I don't think Cyan is losing. They are too up and have too much plot to head off next. If Yellow loses, it's Miriam getting medically evacuated, or vote-wise it's likely Miriam. Pink, I think, could easily lose twice in a row, with two different situations occurring depending. Fiore might head out and come back and merge and make up with Alec then, or Hunter and Eli get so mad at one another that one of them goes home, have it be Hunter so Eli can gain a personality, motivations, etc. I am very excited to see more of this season. Again, it looks so promising. On to the conclusion of the video.
The bell of the bull, the chicken of the tender. At last, you are in my eyes.
Again, this episode was great, and if this is the future of all episodes, this season is just going to be top tier. What were your opinions of this episode? What are your theories for the next? Would love to hear it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video and any support. I really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day or night, and I hope to see you again on the channel. Saya.